Oxford's music scene, the fight to save grassroots venues. Imagine a city once buzzing with the sounds of live music, where local bands could thrive and aspiring artists found their stage. Sadly, Oxford is losing that vibrant spirit as grassroots music venues continue to close their doors. Music expert Ronan Munro paints a grim picture, stating that the situation is really bleak as the city grapples with the aftermath of venue closures and looming threats to those that remain. While Oxford boasts larger venues like the O2, the New Theatre, and the Bullingdon, the heart of the music scene, the smaller, intimate venues, has taken a significant hit. Iconic spots like the Wheatsheaf and the Cellar have shut down, leaving a void that is hard to fill. Munro, the editor of Night Shift magazine, laments that Oxford is way behind what it used to be, and warns that things are only getting worse. This concern echoes the sentiments of Ed Sheeran, who recently highlighted the plight of grassroots venues across the UK. In a heartfelt letter to the Prime Minister, he called for urgent funding for music education, emphasizing that the UK is at a critical point. Sheeran, reflecting on his own journey as a young artist, stated, "I benefited from opportunities in and out of school to learn and grow." He included a poignant quote from fellow musician Miles Smith, asking, "How many more venues need to close? How many music programs need to be cut before we realize that we can't just celebrate success? We have to protect the foundations that make it." Sheeran's letter garnered support from a host of musicians, including the likes of Coldplay and Sir Elton John, all rallying for action to safeguard music education and grassroots venues. Munro points out the stark reality. If you think about the city center, there isn't a single music venue left since the Cellar and Wheatsheaf closed down. Despite the efforts of passionate promoters trying to find new spaces, it feels like a losing battle as venues continue to vanish. One of the last remaining venues, Common Ground in Jericho, faces an uncertain future due to potential development plans by Oxford University. Munro reflects, "It's back to square one, but we're not even back at square one. We're way behind what we used to be." The loss of venues not only affects established acts but also the countless emerging artists who may never get the chance to shine. Bands like Radiohead, Supergrass, and Glass Animals all started in Oxford, and Munro fears that the next generation of talent will miss out. He emphasizes the importance of community, stating, "For every star band you get, there are 100 or 200 who will never make it, but they are all equally valid." The vibrant community of musicians and music lovers in Oxford is slowly losing its home, and Munro warns that this erosion is happening right under the noses of those who have the power to change it. In a glimmer of hope, the Bullingdon has recently transformed its front bar into a venue called Little Bully, accommodating over 100 people. Additionally, there are plans to convert the former attic into a flexible space for live music. However, Munro cautions, there are little grass shoots of hope, but the overall picture in Oxford and far beyond is really bleak. He urges that we must act before it's too late. Paul Whiteman, director of the Community Benefit Society Causing a Scene, describes the challenges facing grassroots venues as a perfect storm. He notes that Oxfordshire's music talent has historically been a significant cultural force, but with rising costs and increased overheads, these venues are at a crossroads. Whiteman calls on the government to take bold steps to support the music industry, suggesting that Oxford City Council could introduce a visitor levy on hotel stays and tourist coaches, funneling the estimated £2.5 million raised into a dedicated music and culture fund. If Manchester, Bournemouth, and Edinburgh can do it, so can Oxford, he asserts. Give music the space to breathe, and we all win. In response, a spokesperson for Oxford City Council stated that they are committed to protecting cultural and community facilities through their local plan, ensuring that any developments do not come at the cost of losing these vital spaces. As Oxford stands at this critical juncture, the call to action is clear. We must rally together to protect and nurture the grassroots music scene before it fades away completely.